So, can I get my gut-brain axis working better? Find out on this next episode of Digest This.
Welcome to Digest This, the show that helps you revolutionize your digestive health. Here are your hosts, Dr. Liz Cruz and Tina Nunziato.
Hello and welcome to Digest This. I'm Dr. Liz Cruz and I've got Tina Nunziato sitting right here by my side. Welcome back. So if you are a first-time listener, we welcome you. But please pause this and go back and listen to the podcast that we did last week, because this is actually part 2 of the Gut-Brain Axis podcast, okay? So go back and listen to the one from last week. If you were on that one already, and that means that you're a regular listener, officially, once you're listening to us for the second time, you are a regular listener.
That's right.
So welcome back. And this is part 2 of the Gut-Brain Axis. So we were talking about the gut-brain axis.
In our previous episode, we were talking about how important it is to eat healthy.
That's right.
In order to change your gut-brain communication from a more natural standpoint.
Exactly.
And then Dr. Cruz was ready to bust into all the ways she wanted to teach you, and we decided to make it a part 2.
That's right. That's right. So the gut-brain axis is so intricately interlaced with the microbiome in our intestine. Okay, so the microbiome being all those little microorganisms, the trillions of bacteria, viruses, candida, fungi, on and on and on. Okay, so we were talking about what can we do from a more holistic standpoint. Okay, as far as trying to improve the health of our gut. Okay, because by improving the health of your gut, you're improving the health of the bacteria. And by doing that, you are promoting better health to be able to better produce neurotransmitters. And if you were on the last one, you heard me say that our gut makes about 90-95% of serotonin. Okay, so very intricate relationship between the brain, the nervous system, and our gut has that enteric nervous system. So like just amazing relationship. So what can we do? What can we do? Oh my, there's so many things we can do. Okay, number 1 is our diet. Okay, it's our diet, because the American diet, and I know that there's probably many of you that are, international, that are not in America and are living in other countries, and we welcome you. But the American diet is very
sad.
Very sad. The standard American diet, a lot of processed food, a lot of sugar, a lot of refined food.
Like I remember when we went to Italy and we were able to eat bread and not feel the same effects to what we eat here in America. It's crazy. Like the level of, the quality of the ingredients here in America are so bad compared to the quality of ingredients in other countries. And it's just because other countries put certain stipulations on what can and can't come into the country, what can and can't be used in feeding people.
Right.
And here, no holds barred. Bring anything in, feed us anything you want, we don't care. But unfortunately, that's what's making us sick. So
exactly. So what she said is absolutely right on. So what it means is that you have to take your health into your own hands and be very intentional about it. Okay?
Vigilant, even.
Very vigilant. All right? Very, very vigilant, intentional every day. Every day. Okay? Because there are pesticides on our produce. There are GMOs in the foods that we eat. There is sugar in everything that we eat.
Anything processed.
Anything that is processed, okay? I mean, just go and take a look at the cans and the boxes.
Or artificial sugar. Because I have a lot of patients say, oh, well, I do all the low fat. If it says low fat, that means there's artificial sugar instead of regular sugar. And artificial sugar is worse for you than regular sugar.
Exactly.
So I just want to make that clear.
Exactly. So number one is taking a look at your diet, okay? Because I will bet you $20.
It's a lot of $20 going out.
That's right.
Or a lot of $20 you're getting.
Exactly. No, but I will guarantee you that there is something or several somethings that you can change in your diet. Okay? Whether it's, cutting back on your fast food. All right? If you're eating fast food 2 or 3 times a week, cutting back on that to once a week. All right? And eventually totally eliminating it. All right. And I'm talking about the fast foods, McDonald's, Burger King,
KFC,
Taco Bell. Okay.
Wendy's, Jack in the Box.
Yeah.
Those are the ones I hear all the time.
That's right. Eliminating that ultimately from your diet. Okay. Sugar. There's sugar in so many things that we eat. And like Tina said, artificial sugars. Okay. I mean, I'm sure that there's plenty of room where you could probably eliminate all sorts of sugary things that you're taking in your diet. Sometimes you may not even realize.
Even in canned vegetables.
Yeah.
I noticed when we were changing our diet, or we were learning how to read a food label, I went into our pantry and started reading the labels of even like the back of a can of beans. And I was like, why is there sugar in my canned beans? Like, you would be shocked if you went through your pantry right now and looked at the ingredients on your boxed and canned food, what they're actually putting in your food, stuff that you can't even pronounce. And I know I sat in the pantry and cried for like an hour as I was reading everything, because I was like, I can't believe this is what I'm feeding to my family.
Yeah. It is sad. I mean, what were you going to say?
I was just going to say that there's healthier alternatives to all those things. So there's healthy alternatives to canned vegetables, even though we try to tell people to eat fresh. There's healthier alternatives to pastas, healthier alternatives to potato mixes. There's healthier alternatives to a bag of chips. There's healthy alternatives for everything. So just because we're telling you to eat healthier, try to eat cleaner, doesn't mean you have to stop eating a cracker or stop eating a chip, right? It's just finding the healthier alternatives to those things, the things that have fewer ingredients, not junk in it.
Right. That's exactly right. So, beverages. Let's talk about beverages, okay? And we've talked about beverages on previous podcasts. The highest consumption of sodas, pop, and fancy coffees right here in the USA, okay?
Something to be proud of.
That's right. I mean, on any corner, you may have, 2 or 3 fancy coffee shops. And notice I said fancy coffees, okay? I didn't say coffee because, if you've listened to some of my previous podcasts, I am a coffee lover, though I'm not drinking it. But not the fancy coffee. I've never really indulged in fancy coffees because of all the sugars. I mean, there was a time when on occasion I would get, like, in the fall, I would get some pumpkin infused fancy drink, and then I literally would take a taste and be like, oh my goodness, this is like a chemical. I'd be so surprised that there wasn't real pumpkin in there. But the beverages, just take a look, take an inventory of what you're drinking, the energy drinks, even these electrolyte drinks that have sugars in them and chemicals, dyes and
flavored waters.
Flavored waters
is a big one. A lot of people switching to flavored water because they don't like the taste of water. But again, you have to read the ingredients because there's so much junk in these waters. It's not real water.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
Yeah, so just in our diet, take a look at what you're eating, and I'm going to put in a plug in here that if you'd like to get a free wellness consult, you can go to our website at drlizcruz.com, and there's a magenta button on the front page of our website that you can click and schedule a free 30-minute wellness consult. You do not have to be a patient. Anyone can do this, okay? And I would highly encourage you to do that. If you need help, guidance, in regards to your diet, please schedule that wellness consult. And we also have a Spanish-speaking nutritionist. Tina is our English-speaking nutritionist. She speaks English.
Do I?
But we have a Spanish-speaking nutritionist too, okay? And but yeah, book that, and Tina can help you and guide you. I mean, so that's one way. Another thing is to take a probiotic. All right. So what is a probiotic? A probiotic is basically healthy bacteria. Healthy bacteria. And you know, I've heard some of my doctor colleagues say, well, you know, you shouldn't be taking a probiotic every single day because your body will get used to it and it won't work as well. I've not seen anything to support that. And in my opinion, everyone should be on a probiotic, okay?
And your probiotic.
Yes, we have a probiotic that has 6 bacteria in it, okay? 6 amazing healthy bacteria, and there's even a little prebiotic in there to help feed that bacteria.
And no fillers.
And no fillers, most
That's the
importantly.
important part.
That's exactly right. Please don't do gummy bear probiotics.
It's just more sugar.
And don't do a compressed tablet of probiotic. What you want is, number 1, our probiotic, which is a capsule that has, you know, powdered bacteria in it.
Yeah, in every capsule, the capsule can be taken apart and the powder can be put directly in water or on food. So if you have little kids that also need help with this, we've got a lot of kids, for example, that have autism, ADHD, that are on our probiotics, and parents basically just open the capsule and put the powder right on their food or in their drink.
That's right. And that's actually what we do for our twins. And so yeah, probiotics, very important. You know, water, and I'm going to say something here that I'm sure we've podcasted on, is alkaline water. Okay, so you want to try to alkalize your intestine as much as possible, because most of the food that we eat, especially if you're eating a lot of processed food, junk food, sugar, is more on the acidic side, and you actually want to alkalize your intestine, because that actually promotes the healthy bacteria, okay? And you want your intestine to be healthy so that you can heal, and so you can heal so that your body can heal, okay? So alkaline water. I mean, we've got, if you go back into our library of podcasts, we've podcasted on it. So I would encourage you to go back and look for that podcast. But very important. And another thing that will help to alkalize your water, I mean, obviously you can go and buy alkaline water. Also, there are machines, okay? And we actually have that machine. And you can learn more about that when you schedule your wellness consult with Tina. But also adding electrolytes. Adding electrolytes to your water will also help to alkalize, okay?
Super salts.
Super salts, that's right. You can find that on our website, okay? So super salts, probiotics, lots of greens in your diet. Greens help to alkalize your body, all right? And not to mention that it gives life to your body and to your cells, okay? Let's see, vitamin D, very good for you. Getting outside into nature, okay? And I know here in Arizona, like, you know, it's starting to actually cool down, even though somebody questioned me about that today when we, you know, said the temperature, oh, it's getting cool, it's 93, but it actually does feel really nice.
Time for jeans and sweatshirts, everybody.
That's right, it's getting so cold now here in Phoenix. But, you know, getting out. Another thing I want to talk about really quick, I mean, I know here we're extending the podcast out a little bit more, but it's, you know, things to help decrease your stress so that you can calm down your cortisol levels, you know, yoga, exercise, meditation, okay? And a lot of people, when we say meditation, they're like, oh, what are you talking about? I you know, that's too complicated. All it is just quieting down.
Sitting in silence
and breathing, you know,
and
just
focusing on your breath. That's
exactly.
It.
Focus on your breath. Start out for 5 minutes,
Not
and then
even.
increase.
Just start out for 1 minute.
There you go. 1 minute. All right. There you go. 1 minute. You know, and gradually you can work yourself up, but just get yourself into a little space where it's just you, and you just focus on your breathing. Mm-hmm. That's meditating. Mm-hmm. Okay? Doesn't have to be anything fancy. All right. Anything else you want to add?
Oh, there's so much more, but
There
that's
is so
a really good start. That's a lot of stuff. So I think we should go with that.
All right. And one thing that I did promise back a few podcasts ago was that we were going to do this gut-brain axis podcast, and that we will also podcast on raising your vibration. Okay. So that will be our next podcast. We'll be raising your vibration. And again, you can find us on our website, schedule a free 30-minute wellness consult. You know, that's a great way for you to connect with us. If you haven't rated this podcast, please rate us and please give us a 5-star rating, because that'll actually help other people like you to find us. And lastly, if you haven't subscribed to the podcast, please subscribe so that you never miss an episode. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we will catch you on the next podcast.
Thank you for joining Dr. Liz Cruz and Tina Nunziato. To learn more about their revolutionary products and services, go online to www.drlizcruz.com.